Here are 5 books that might just give you the inspiration you need. They cover a wide range of genres, from captivating true stories to fictional adventures to psychology, and there is even one very special dictionary. I do hope you'll find them inspirational and impactful just as I have. So without further ado, let's jump into the first one. The first book in this video is a fiction one, Matt Haig's Midnight Library. My mom recommended it to me during one of the more challenging periods of my life last year, and it really helped me to take a step back and gain broader perspective. The book and the story work because it taps into 2 of the most common emotions of human experience, regret and what ifs. And we all have those. What if you went down another career path because you were so good at that one thing when you were younger and had potential? What if you stayed in that relationship longer? What if you took a different turn or moved to a different city or even country? Where would you be and what would your life look like? And sometimes it is even those smaller life decisions that can lead to very different life outcomes. The story revolves around Nora Seed. At the lowest point in her life, Nora finds herself in this fictional place, a midnight library, somewhere between life and death, where each book represents a different life she could have lived had she made a different choice or a series of different choices. So she reads those books and gets a chance to dive into and experience different versions of what her life could have been. From lives where she pursued her dreams to those where she fulfilled obligations or followed her heart. From being an Olympic athlete to a rock star to a traveler to a mother to even just as simple as living on a different street. Each book in that library offered a glimpse into an alternate reality, and you will need to give this one a read to know what happens. The message that Midnight Library truly hit home for me is to let go of regrets about the outcomes you missed out on and instead focus on finding meaning with where you are in life. We can't know where our choices will really lead us, and we certainly can't expect every different what-if life to offer us some radically different and higher level of happiness. Yes, we can aim for great things and probably should aim for great things and maybe even accomplish them, but ultimately we do need to find happiness and meaning in our lives just as they are, today and here. I feel like this book will mean something different to every person who picks it up. It is a beautiful read and provides a little bit of hope and perspective that we all need. Is this the best piece of literature? Probably not. But does it do what art is supposed to do? Touch us, teach us, make us ponder, and even make us feel less alone in our feelings? Definitely yes. What do we say to the god of self-help books? Well, maybe tomorrow. Next up on the list is The Courage to Be Disliked. I wouldn't say that this is your typical self-help book. What sets The Courage to Be Disliked apart is its narrative style. It's like nothing I've ever read before. The entire book is a dialogue between a philosopher and a youth. The youth struggles to accept the philosopher's concepts, argues back, and hopes to gain understanding in the end. It is based on the theories of Alfred Adler, Austrian psychologist who lived around the same time as Freud and Jung. Now, I've never heard of him before, however, from the limited research that I've done, his contributions to psychology are significant. At the book's core, there are 3 ideas that Adler advocated for. First is that interpersonal relationship issues are the source of most problems. You have your life tasks, the things that you can control, and you must separate those from other people's life tasks. You can't control what other people think of you, so why worry about it? Approach relationships with unconditional trust. Second is the concept of horizontal relationships as opposed to vertical relationships, where individuals view others as equals rather than through this lens of hierarchy. Adler believed that all relationships should be horizontal, that we should have confidence in others and not manage or manipulate or be manipulated. And the third pillar of Adler's view of a happy life is the feeling that you can contribute to others and the feeling of when you are contributing to others. If we appreciate and learn from each other, we have a sense of belonging and community. The Courage to Be Disliked is not a rule book. It does not preach that there is a formula for happiness. Rather, it asks you as a reader, why rely on a formula when happiness is a choice within yourself? At the end of the day, life is a dance. When you dance, you end up somewhere different than where you started. But moving from point A to point B isn't the goal. Dancing is the goal. So focus on the journey, on your dance, embrace the present, enjoy it, and live mindfully. The stories of other people's pursuits, more often than not, help ignite curiosity to explore your own boundaries. What is your own El Cap, your own Antarctica, your own Iceman, your own version of Everest? The next two books will take you onto very different yet impactful adventures. And the first one is Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer, one of the most emotionally difficult books that I've read and loved. The author is a journalist and a mountaineer who was part of an expedition that aimed to summit Mount Everest in May 1996. His task in that expedition was to write about what a guided Everest climb tour even is. Due to a series of unfortunate events, wrong decisions, and a storm, 8 mountaineers died and several were very badly injured. Into Thin Air is Jon Krakauer's account of this disaster, looking into motivations and risks of climbing the world's highest peak. And because of how well written and personal the story is, you as a reader can really feel all the emotions with every page. I honestly can't imagine what I would have done or how I would feel if I were in his shoes, but I'm so grateful that he wanted to share and document this story. So why is this book in this video? Well, because it is raw, it is moving, and most importantly, it makes you think about motivation and the why behind feats like this. At the end of 2022, I completed the Annapurna Circuit trek in Nepal, and it has been by far one of the most beautiful and challenging experiences I've ever had. Why I want to mention it is because of the summit night push to Torongla Mountain Pass, which was the longest and toughest 5 kilometers of my life. I remember that I had to negotiate every single step with myself. I had to find my why because the trek really pushed me to find it. We all have the urge to explore, to see, to experience life, to try and find out how far we can go, to climb mountains. But maybe mountains aren't really about mountains after all. Maybe it is about showing up for yourself in a way you thought you weren't capable of, about allowing yourself to be surprised by your strength and proving that if you can do something like that, you can do anything. The next adventure book is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. It is a memoir capturing the months she spent when she was 26 hiking along the Pacific Crest Trail from Mojave Desert through California and Oregon to Washington State during the summer of 1995. Although this book is so much more than that, it is a raw story of a woman who has lost her anchor in life, who is with a lot of vulnerability sharing her loss, pain, addiction, her struggle with grief and self-acceptance, and who really throws herself into this journey, clinging onto it like a lifebuoy. There comes a moment in everyone's life where we must really confront ourselves in one way or another, forgive our own mistakes and choices, and really accept how they define us. This journey on the trail gave Cheryl the strength and clarity to face who she is and what she's capable of. And every step of the way as a reader, you are alongside her, watching as she learns to accept, embrace, and let go, and how the PCT weaves through that. It is the book that I've enjoyed immensely from cover to cover that further dives into how sometimes, to gain perspective, we really need to venture into the wilderness, both externally and probably even more importantly, internally. What happens when you add a sense of curiosity, maybe some slight melancholy, and literally musing all in equal proportions? Well, you get the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. Jon Koenig, the author, set out to create words that would fill the gaps in our language of emotion. Think about it. If you were to close your eyes and if I were to describe this chair to you, you will probably be able to imagine it pretty accurately even if you've never seen it before. But we can't really do that same exercise with feelings. Yes, we all relate to happiness, sadness, a sense of wonder, but if I tell you that I am feeling lost, would you know this feeling the exact same way as I'm leaving it? At the end of the day, the true magic really happens in our attempts to understand each other exactly as the other person is hoping to be understood. John Koenig came up with a few words for feeling lost. For example, agnostasia is one of them. I also love that when creating this dictionary, he based all the words on his knowledge of linguistics, sometimes researching and digging deeper beyond just the surface. He provides descriptions, but also explores further than just sharing the word and a definition only. There are a lot of very interesting quotes and stories behind the words. I hope you have found these books intriguing and worth your time. Let me know your thoughts, and if you do have any recommendations, please let me know. I'm always looking for my next read. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!